What's up, YouTube? Welcome to our 7th and final part of our M21 limited testing meeting here on our channel. My name is LordTupperware. I'm joined once again by MisterMetronome and Corticals from the Limited Level Ups podcast. We're looking at all the rares and mythics, and we've sort of done a cursory ordering here loosely. Now, it's probably gonna be more about the columns that these cards exist in rather than the exact ordering, like figuring out which busted rare is better than the other busted rare is perhaps not the most important. But we'll start off here with this category here. Does Ugin remain king for you all here, or do you not think so?
I don't think so, but I have not played with... I've only been on the receiving end of an Ugin once, and I have not gotten a chance to play with it yet.
I got to play 2 Ugin decks yesterday, and he's busted.
Yeah, I think the thing with Ugin is that, yes, he is 8 mana in an aggressive format, but there are tools. If you would like to survive and you would like to ramp, you can do that. It's just like one of the reasons you don't usually want to just put purely defensive cards or like a bunch of ramp in your deck is there aren't a ton of reasons in this format. And so, like, Ugin is that reason. Mm-hmm. So if you have Ugin, like, the cards exist to make an Ugin deck work. And
the tools are there to ramp with, like, Visionary or Palladium Mirror, as well as the tool. Like, I had it in red-green twice, and, like, Thrill of Possibility to dig for this. Yeah. Like, just random crash-throughs, like, Kinetic Augurs. The tools are there to ramp and to dig through your library.
Yeah, I agree.
I think I would go Masker Worm, too.
Sure, yeah, Mask Worm is dumb. I mean, like, Elder Gargoth dumb, Terror dumb, Brash Taunter dumb,
3, I think?
Sublime Epiphany dumb.
Are we making the Brash Taunter better than Baneslayer argument here?
I think Taunter is better than Baneslayer, yeah.
Yeah, which is wild.
Taunter is just like, I mean, obviously, yeah, dies to Grasp of Darkness, but other than that, this card is... I guess Capture Sphere kills this too in a way. This card's really tough to deal with.
I think Elder Gargoth is probably better because there's workarounds to Brash Taunter. Like the game still goes on for a while after Brash Taunter resolves.
I mean, if you don't snap concede, but you're welcome to concede at any time against Brash Taunter.
It's not a snap concede card. This card sits around and it has to do its thing. I think that Gargoth ends the game very, very quick, and they're close, right?
Yeah. I mean, like I said, I'm not super interested in which ordering these, but I'm
Baneslayer next.
Yeah.
Okay.
Speaking of not being interested in ordering.
Yeah, exactly.
I think Scoo's ahead of Terror.
So I do not. If this were me, I would put Scoo's in this tier.
I agree. I think Scoo's.
I don't think Scoo's is a bomb. Or is like I don't think these are like A's and A pluses, and like Scooz is like maybe I think Scooz is a B plus in my mind. I don't think it's an A minus.
Okay, I've been very impressed.
I mean, it's
the top of that tier. I don't know. Like I would take just give me Boss Lieutenant and Scavenger News. I'm probably taking Boss Lieutenant.
I am too. I think Lieutenant belongs in this.
Lieutenant should be in the A tier. That's the real thing. Garrick should be in B tier, I think. I don't think Garrick's that good. He's fine, but I don't think he's close to these cards.
I think Mangara should be much lower.
Yeah, Mangara's okay.
Okay, sure. That's fine. I think Garrick is an A.
I can be sold on like the bottom of the A pile. Yeah.
Yeah. I just like, I don't know, 4 mana Planeswalker that makes a 3/3.
I do think Ooze is better than Garrick though.
That's a tough sell for me.
It's not for me.
Have you guys played against Garrick?
Yeah, I played against it a few times, and I have not been impressed.
Oh wow. Okay. Okay. I'll put it down here. Then I'm outnumbered. Embrace probably up here.
Yep, I agree.
This card is, really impressed. Okay.
I think I haven't played against. I played with Chandra once. I would put her in the A tier, but maybe not. I don't know. But
I think she's up here. I think she's like an A minus. I don't think she's AA plus.
Okay.
Which is, I know splitting hairs probably, but
Pursued Whale also does not belong in that top tier category.
I disagree, but I have lost every time. This card's been cast against me many times and I've lost, and the times that I have cast it, I have won. So
I think Pursued Whale has everything I said about Ugin is true about Pursued Whale. It's just a lesser card. So I think it's like I would lean towards Ben's putting in the next tier, but
okay. So this is A plus tier.
Yeah.
And then again, I'm not super concerned, but thinking about these all as A minuses.
Yeah. I okay, so let's do I don't know. I would personally not have Solemn here, but like I understand it's flexible, it's a 3-for-1, but I just don't think it's all that good. It's fine.
Are there commons that you're taking over this?
I would take there's multiple I would take Scorching Dragonfire. I would take Shock over Solemn.
Wow. That's aggro to me, so I'll bump it down. But that's not where I'm at.
Yeah,
that's hard for me to wrap my brain around as well.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Okay. That's a really tough sell that Scorching Dragonfire is better than this. For me.
Yeah, I mean, I just don't think Solemn is. It does stuff, but I don't think it's all that great. I think it's just fine.
My feeling after talking to you guys is that like I am experiencing a different format. That I am not playing hyper aggro mirrors. Like I see the aggressive decks, I see them winning. I've played with them. I don't think this format is like Zendikar fast, which is
I
like...
don't either. No.
But you guys are talking about it like there's no time to do anything other than affect the board. You can't play a 4-mana 3-for-1. Like, that just seems wild to me.
I'm on Team Solemn. Just for the record. I think it shouldn't be your plan A until people start contesting the aggro cards.
Yeah, that's what I would say. And I think so. Okay, so Ben, do you like Scorching Dragonfire over Solemn?
I don't, because Solemn gets a huge bump for me for being colorless, and I think it enables you to do really powerful things. Like I think Solemn's better than Llanowar Visionary. I don't know. That's close. It's like equal to Llanowar Visionary.
It's colorless.
It's colorless, which makes it better than Llanowar Visionary. Pack one, pick one, I think. But once you like, I could certainly see taking Scorching Dragonfire over it, like pack 2, pack 3.
Yeah. Okay, maybe I'm being too aggro here in the literal sense.
Yeah. All right, so keep moving down this list here. Rod is incredibly impressive.
Yeah.
Rod is good card advantage engine, also giant threat.
Pack leader is really good.
Also great, yeah.
Especially in conjunction with Bolt Hound, and it makes like your Alpine Watchdogs better. This is essentially a red, white, gold card. That's where it's going to be at its best.
Yeah, a red, white, gold card when it's like I think it's an A- in the right deck. Right. It's like a B, a C plus.
But in the same way that I'm happy to first pick Rada, even though it's a gold card, I'm thrilled to first pick Pack Leader, even though I'm thinking of it like a gold card.
And it's just like a good card on its own.
Right, you're just putting it in any white deck happily.
I think this card is phenomenal.
Yeah, I like it a lot.
Yeah.
I think it's fine.
I think it gets a bump for being colorless, but I think... And there's like, again, in the same way that like we're talking about a lot of these cards is... This requires probably no setup cost to pack one, pick one. This requires some considerations for like trying to maximize it. But
yeah, I even think though,
I think it's really good in aggro too.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's not even the worst in aggro because the thing is like, I wouldn't want this if I'm an aggro deck versus like a mid-range deck, right? A mid-range green deck. I don't think, but like if I'm versus a control deck, it's great. Even in an aggro mirror, it's decent because like you can focus on trading instead of having to race, right? Like you can just sit back and get your 3 cards worth. So yeah, I like this card a lot.
Yeah, I do too.
Do you like it better than Solemn?
Yeah, that's the thing.
It
does
similar
things.
Right? I want them both in this pile.
I like Solemn better than Maze Mind Tome myself.
Have you played with or against this card yet?
Me?
Ben? Yeah.
Yes, both.
And can you like why aren't you super high on it?
think that you have to get to a point. Before it's good, you have to get to a point in the game where you can invest the mana into it, and I don't think that's necessarily easy to do. Like, I think it's a fine to good card. I'm happy to first pick it out of a lot of packs, but I think Solemn's better because Solemn does what Maze Mind Tome does, but only for the investment of 4 mana instead of 10 mana.
Well, I think that's the thing though, because the times when Maze Mind isn't, you can't just pay the 2 mana each time. You start to scry to get cards that matter, and that 4 life will also matter in those situations too.
Yeah.
I agree. So you guys are you guys are both on Tome is better than Simulacrum?
No. You all seem very concerned about figuring out the exact order of rares here. That is not something that I care about.
Yeah, I think Maze Mind Tome belong. Okay, look, I'm willing to concede that Solemn can also belong in this tier. I think both of them can just go here, and I think Ethan agrees. Ben, would you put Tome in the next tier? I think is the question.
No, I like them both in this tier.
Yeah,
Okay, cool.
I think they're A minuses in my book.
Cool.
All right, Primal Might's up next. I would not have this high, but I also haven't played with it.
I think it belongs here.
Okay.
Yeah, it is Fireball-esque in the fact that if you have a Trampler, a Flyer, or your opponent has just attacked with enough creatures, you just get one-shotted by this, right? While being a prey upon plus a good fight spell at 3 mana, right?
But what about if your opponent has any open mana?
Sure, like yeah, that is true. But I think like, you know,
I think if you're building but I think the thing is that's the thing that's so busted about the aggro decks though, is your opponent never has open mana if you build your deck right, because they're always tapping out trying to stabilize, and then you punish them with Primal Might, Titanic Growth, whatever. Those become your removal spells.
Okay. I think these 2 red build-arounds are, I mean, not even build-around. Like, this is Obosh on steroids.
Yeah, Emancipation is great.
I'm a lot lower on Emancipation myself after playing with it.
I could see it being in that next tier down. I think it's a good card, but I can see it being worse than a lot of these cards.
Sure, I guess I can put it at B+. Like,
yeah,
just because like it's not like if you have no board, this card doesn't do anything.
Of course, yeah.
But I guess that's a similar argument for Primal Might from my mind. Honestly, I think Emancipation's better than Primal Might.
Primal Might's a removal spell though. Emancipation's not.
Well, it's sort of removal for your opponent in a way.
If you have a board, right?
Yeah.
But
you need a board for this, or you need something for this.
You only need one creature to make Primal Might a card, right? You need like multiple things.
I'm gonna take L's word for this, and I'm fine to move this down.
Yeah.
Double Vision probably can move down as well, but I think it's a very, very good card in blue, red, and red, black.
Yeah,
build around,
but it's very good.
Salvo is great.
Yep.
I have not played with this card yet.
She's fine. So she's a lot of the time she just says like you take 3 each turn unless you just want to give up your right to cast a spell. And then sometimes she kills something. So she's like I would put her in the next tier down. I think she's worse than this tier for sure.
Okay.
I would put Sabira up a tier.
Sabira, yeah. And probably Stormwing Entity as well. I think both those cards are very good.
Okay. As A minus level cards, that's a tough sell for me for these 2, but
Sabira I feel more strongly about than Stormwing. Sabira is just very, very, very good. Like, she's good on curve. She gives you like a ton of reach. She helps you to, if you're a bit, at parity, she helps you to draw an extra few cards per turn. She's very scary.
I mean, I could see starting a new pile after Rada if we're trying to do it by grades.
Okay. So these are A minuses and these are B pluses?
Yeah, I would agree with that. Yeah. I think that's about right.
I think Volcanic Salvo I would move over into the Rada category.
I would move at least Solemn over here. But okay, so A minuses, B pluses, and now like B's. / build around A minuses, A's, or whatever.
Yeah, I think these are. So have you? I'm curious to hear if you've played with or against Fairy. Either of you?
I've only played against it, and I don't think it's that good.
Yeah, I don't think it's that good either. I think it's cuttable from a lot of decks, basically. Like, I mean, you're gonna play it, but if you have a great deck,
You basically loot twice and gain 5 life. Like, I don't think it's that. It's just really easy to kill.
Yeah, that negative ability is not very good.
Yeah.
Right. If it was like -2, maybe, but the 3 is a lot for a very temporary effect.
Yeah, I'm definitely fine to move it down.
Yeah, I think that's about right. Oh, do we want to move Joriel? Should be up there, right?
This is a B. This could be a B plus. Like,
yeah, she shouldn't be. I don't think she's.
It's build around.
Yeah, but she's very, very good when she works.
Agreed.
She's also just like
best, I think, in green, blue, and green, red. Thanks to like Crash Through and Thrill of Possibility.
Right, and she's also just like, you don't have to build around her. Like, she's also just. I mean, you do want a few things that draw you extra cards, but if you don't draw those cards, base rate like enchantments that can chump sometimes with that ability is like a fine floor in those decks.
Sure, yeah. Bosriket?
I would move up a thing, but I have no experience with or against.
I have played against, not with. Card is good. It's certainly like it's more of a burst effect, unless your opponent doesn't have a board, and like you can just afford to take it up, take up, then you're generally just like maybe plussing ones and then minusing, or just minusing to get some tokens. Like if your opponent has any board, it's usually pretty easy to kill this thing and without you getting much value. So I think I can see it in this tier.
I would stick with B for Bosri.
Yeah, I like B. Do we like Glorious Anthem in this B tier? I think probably, right?
I don't really like this card, but sure.
I think it's pretty good.
Okay. But I think you're taking Feet of Resistance over this.
Yeah, I mean, Ben, do you feel strongly against that one way or another?
I've not played with or against it. I think I would take Glorious Anthem higher than Feet, but that's just.
But you're definitely not taking Acolyte over it, right? Or you're definitely taking Acolyte over it, right?
That's the thing, yeah. I would take Acolyte. Maybe that's where it breaks down, right? Because I would take Acolyte, and I know that, but I'm also not taking Feet over Acolyte right now, so.
My gut says Feet is better than this.
Yeah, that's fair. Yeah, so
which would make me want to. I would want this to be like B minus.
Yeah, maybe Glorious Anthem is just not as good as it used to be. Hooded Blightfang is an interesting one to talk about because I am just lower on this card than. I mean, it's fine. It's not. I just don't think it's like it's a solid body for sure, but I don't know. I've heard people sing the praise of this card, and I think it's just like a good, but not. I'm not first picking it out of a lot of packs.
Yeah, I agree. I think you're not. I mean, it's good in a black control deck. I just don't think black control decks are that good.
Yeah.
That's sort of the problem.
Yeah.
All right, so what other Bs do we see here?
Heroic Intervention's pretty savage at times.
Yeah.
It can be. I feel...
I'm lower on this card than I think the world is.
Me too.
This is like... The floor is Ranger's Guile.
Gadrak should be higher than it is.
Gadrak. I like Gadrak. Yeah. I mean, this is basically a 3-mana 5/4 defender.
I would put him in that third tier there.
The third? B plus?
Sorry. Fifth tier. I think
he's like a B minus.
Yeah, I think he's fine. Probably you could go to the top of this tier, but...
okay. So...
I might put Baron in the next tier, just because, like... I think Manowar is at kind of an all-time high in this format, and just like the flexibility of drawing a card off of your Manowar if it's not you don't want to bounce your opponent's thing. Like it's like a efficiency flexibility grade more than a raw power grade. But you could put it at the top of that other tier too.
Sure. Yeah. I think just
I would move Shacklegeist up a tier.
Sure. Well, let's try and figure out if there are any more Bs.
I
would put Sporeweb Weaver as a B.
Yeah.
I think this card brick walls a lot of strategies.
Yeah, because the thing is, like, until you play with the card, you don't notice how hard it is to actually attack into it. Because, like, you attack 3 creatures, and they have this, and you're like, okay, I don't actually make that much headway because they gain a life and they get a 1/1, right? So yeah, it's a good.
I did not realize how few good rares there were. Like, this is a small amount of like there are commons are going in this category.
Are you sure it's not a Prince format?
Like, that's kind of wild to me that this is less than 25 cards that I'm happy taking over commons. That's crazy. Okay, sorry. Just a little epiphany there. Okay, so now we'll look at what this is like. Now we're getting into B- C+ territory.
Right. Let's see. So I do think that I would move Magar up. This is too low for Magar. He's good. He's not busted by any means. He does restrict what your opponent can do, and especially if I'm gonna put Ethan's hat on, I think if we're talking about this as an aggressive format, like, we can't rate that too low.
4 mana 2/4 lifelink is
2/4 lifelink that makes it hard to attack
Yeah.
with multiple things, like, or double spell, right?
Mhm.
Garrick's Harbinger.
yeah,
I think,
Harbinger,
next year.
yeah.
I don't know why I can't say that card's name. Good God.
You think it goes up here?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think so.
Yeah, for just 3 mana 4/3 upside. Yeah.
Let's see what else.
I would get, while we're on that pile, I still think that's too high for Fiery Emancipation.
I don't.
I don't either right now, but I can see coming down on it. Like, I've played with the card. Like, I've had this card a lot. I guess it's just been passed to me a lot. And I've played with it, and it's been very, very good. Like, a lot of times you're just building to getting this card on the board, and then you win.
Right.
Right.
That seems like a good card. That seems like
not even just, not like discounting any like Goblin Arsonist, Pitchburn Devil shenanigans. Like, if you just have like 2-3 creatures on the board, like, if you can survive till then and then have a few creatures, you can trade off with anything, and then all of your cards get much, much better.
Yeah.
Okay.
I like it at B level. Like, you're probably taking Dragonfire over this.
Yes.
Yeah, I think so. I
think the rest of the red commons I'm not. I don't think I'm taking Shock
over it also. And Spellcoach Weird, I think.
I am not.
Yeah, I wouldn't take Weird, but I might take Shock. I have to put to the test. I'm not positive.
So we've got now in like C+ B- territory: Anthem, Teferi, Blightfang, Intervention, Gadrak, Shacklegeist, Scrylands, Fabled Passage.
Oh, let's. This is probably a good time to talk about Karavek, right? Because Karavek's kind of contentious.
Oh, sure. Yeah.
Yeah. So I like Karavek a lot. It invalidates a percentage of decks, like, just completely destroys them. Now, the problem that YouTube brought up that I think is super true is that it will equally affect your deck unless you're building around it, and it's not easy to build around the card because, like, you have to be basically specifically black-green. There's some instances where that's not true, but I think it's just powerful enough that it belongs. I could buy it in this tier. I would personally put it in the next tier up, but
I haven't played with or against it yet. It feels too situational to me and too tough to build around.
I've played with it several times, and that has been my experience. I have not enjoyed it, but I keep picking it because I trust, like, your opinion, and there's people that are good that say that it's good to me. It has not played out that way.
Right. Yeah,
I buy it as a black, green, gold card, and that's about it.
Okay, yeah, I can get behind that because that's been my experience too. That, like, you need to build around it a decent amount. I just think that, like, the upside of kill 1 or 2, 3 of your opponent's creatures, make them smaller, and then your opponent's your opponent can't have X1s anymore is pretty high.
Yeah, I would put Incinerator at C+.
Yeah, it's fine.
And I would
it's a Dreadmaw for the most part.
It's a Dreadmaw with Magmuts.
Like, yeah, you can make it a 5 mana 6/6. Yeah, C+. Right.
I think Magmut pushes it to say C+ for me.
Even shock their face for a
Yeah.
Spirit Guide.
I am a believer of this card after talking to Ben and playing with it myself.
Yeah, I like it a lot.
And I think this is a fine C+.
Yep. These are all C+-ish.
I guess Pilfer probably also a C+.
Yeah.
And
I think
now,
Niambi C+, right?
sure, Alex, I'll give it to you, buddy. Just for you.
I'm on Team Niambi.
Put it on the fridge for the rest of the
And
cards.
now there's quite a bit of a drop off here.
I think Thieves Guild Enforcer also goes in that next column.
I do not.
Yeah, I think this card's fine, but like it's okay. So here's the thing. Here's my problem with Thieves Guild Enforcer is that it's so junky when it's bad and it's fine when it's good.
Right.
It's so good. It's so good with Teferi's tutelage.
Yeah.
My opponent that have
Ben.
in their It's not your don't put bad cards in your deck to make your good cards better. It's just good in that deck. It is a good card in that deck.
I can buy that.
That makes me feel like it's a synergy C.
It's like a synergy, yeah, synergy C+ or C maybe.
Which
1 minute Death Touch is a good card.
On what turn? On turn 5.
But you're behind and you need mana efficiency to catch up, and this lets you catch up.
Yeah, that is true. I just don't think like you want to wheel this card probably, right?
Certainly, yes, you want to wheel it.
Okay.
I think that's C level.
But I think you would say the same thing about Niambi.
Hey, you guys love Niambi, not me. Yeah, I do agree that I would put both of these at C rather than.
All right, that's fair. That's fair. Yeah, nothing else. I guess Spark Hunter Mastercore probably belongs at C. Like I think it's a fine card actually. It's not exciting, but you can put it in your deck.
This seems like a night. What'd you say?
I think that card's unplayable.
That's what I think too. I think this card is bad.
Oh, real? So why? Because of specifically
No, just specifically 2-for-1ing yourself is very bad.
2-for-1ing yourself and 3 mana is too much to pay to give something indestructible that only has 3 power.
Yeah.
Right, but this is like we're valuing raw stats quite a bit in this format, and like 3/4 is also giant. And I don't think it's like insane for you to keep up this. I mean,
I think this is a D. I don't think it's an F, but I think it's.
Sure. That's fine. That's fine.
Gonna make this just a scotch smaller so we can fit the columns here. Okay, so yeah, I would put that in this category. Anything else that feels C level to you guys? I haven't played 9 Lives yet.
I've played that card quite a bit now.
It's good, right?
It's good. Yeah, it's good. Yeah. It's mostly I'm bringing it in out of the board.
Okay.
But it's like I don't think you should main deck the card, but it is quite good out of the board. Like against blue red, because blue red has, unless they're the wizardry blue red deck, that's not great. But against blue red, because they have usually only a few threats, and against like a green deck, even in like an aggro mirror, it's decent. Just because it swings like it's like 3 turns worth of fogs a lot of the time.
Mm-hmm. I have liked Animal Sanctuary in red white specifically, but like I think this is a fine effect if you have a handful of creatures that it can hit.
Yeah, it's fine.
The awkward part about it is the decks that have a lot of those creatures want to run 15 or 16 lands, and they can't really afford a colorless source always.
Right. So I do think about it more like a spell. So if I'm like inclined to run 16 lands in that deck, then I could run 16 plus this. I've only played with it once, but I liked it in a red white deck with a bunch of dogs.
It's been good for me as well. I could see even moving it up a tier.
Okay. I have not played this yet. Seems like a fine sideboard card.
Yeah, it's fine. Like,
especially like since there are like aggro decks, people are running like multiples of random 2s, and this is kind of cool to shut that down.
I agree. My 2-kid Vigilance got named by Runed Halo, and I conceded.
Nice.
The thing is, like, there's not a ton of white decks that will happily bring this in, right? Like,
right. Yeah.
That's like if you find a deck that it's if you're like white black maybe, yeah, but.
I've heard tales of Speaker of the Heavens. I'm not a believer myself, but I don't know about you guys.
Again, I think we noticed this like when we talked about it in our set review, but it plays that role of like you'll want a 1 sometimes, and like it's Anointed Chorister-ish,
Mm-hmm.
Just like the
And
one.
if your deck gets there, it's really sweet. But I just don't think
I've
your
had
deck.
people play this and then like short sword it up and have combat tricks and get me with it,
That's
but
pretty cool.
yeah. But I don't. I think it belongs in this tier.
Okay. We talked about Massacre already. I haven't seen this card yet. So I'm still sticking with it being pretty bad.
I think it belongs probably in the next tier up. Like it's not a great effect, but it's also like it does stuff, right? Like it's a flexible, if not expensive counterspell, and like can play the time walk thing. I don't feel strongly about it, but I don't think it's unplayable.
I guess Priest can go here is that in that it is
Yeah,
it is a creature. It is a 2/2 with flash. That's fine. All right, Ben, you ready?
I'm ready, dude. I think this is real. It's not good to go after, but when you get it, it does powerful things, and Sanctum of All certainly goes in the deck. If you've even got Sanctums of 4 colors, you're happily playing Sanctum of All as another Sanctum, assuming you have the mana to cast it. You're only hoping to pick it up on the wheel, but when this gets there, it's like a BB plus.
So here's my problem. I'm having a really hard time wrestling with the format you seem to be describing, and then the deck that this is good in, where you're just not getting crushed.
Because you don't always get to do the thing, right? Like sometimes the people passing to you are drafting aggro, and then you have to find another powerful thing to do. And this is an avenue you could go down as a deck. Same way you can go down Reanimator, or you can go down blue-green card draw. Like this is a deck in the format. That card is a real card. It doesn't get there often. I think it does get there sometimes, and you're not going after it. You want to wheel Sanctum of All.
What is the floor of Sanctums you need? Like, what's the worst number of and colors of Sanctums where you would run this card?
For three of the Grixis, or three of the Grixis.
Like one of each, blue, black, red.
Yeah,
that's the floor.
I think. Yeah.
I've not played with the card yet. I'm trying to figure out what would make this not feel like a total whiff. So
the worst part about it is that you don't get to go get a Sanctum until the next turn. But that's sort of true of all.
But it doesn't matter, right? Because you get the effect.
Like it is. I think the Grixis, assuming you can cast this, so it probably is like green has to be included in there. So it's probably everything but white.
Okay.
I am more on Ben's side. I think I fall somewhere in the middle where I think
shocking.
Yeah, I haven't said I am more on Ethan's side once this entire thing. I think it is a thing you can do. I just don't think it's a great thing you can do. Like it's if you want to have fun, like you would never play this card in a GP top like day 2 draft, right?
Sam Black would play this card in a GP day 2 draft.
But you wouldn't.
I would. If it fell into my lap, I would. If people were drafting aggro, I got pushed out of aggro, and I was in some janky green deck, and I wheeled a couple Sanctums, and I wheel this. If it's the best thing I could do, I would do it.
Right. So it's like, yeah. So it's like,
I mean, I tried with the GP to like draft with whatever that there was Beyond Death. I tried to do the Thassa's Oracle thing, and I flamed out, and I oath-read. But I think
that's powerful though. Like, I think that's more attainable though than Sanctival. Anyway, I think what the crux of this is like, yes, it is. I think it is powerful. I think you're just not going to get there 98% of the time, right?
If you draft the format as much as the three of us do, you'll have a Sanctum of All deck, but that's
maybe
like one out of every 30 drafts. You're getting there.
Yeah, I'll take the over. All right, Alex, you're up. Teferi's Ageless Insight.
Right. So this is similar to Double Vision. It doesn't trigger off of your removal spells, which is big, but it also just triggers off of like your Llanowar Visionary or your big tree thing that draws you 2 cards, or like it is similar enough to that card that like one of the big things about Double Vision, it works with your ops and your crash throughs and those kind of things. And there's enough like incident like Sky Scanner, right? It works with that too. Like it is a build around. It's not a great build around, but it's like a build around C plus B minus, I would say.
This seems too dirtily to me. Like, I already think the Blue Sanctum is slow on its own, and this seems worse than that to me.
It's like it's a future investment card, right? Like you play it and then you Sky Scanner or your Visionary or you like opt or whatever, and like you get your velocity back, right?
My argument against this, and granted I haven't played with or against it yet, is that blue is already not very well equipped to deal with aggression. Like, it already feels like, all right, well, I can build around Teferi's tutelage because that is a win condition. And so that's an okay do-nothing enchantment because eventually it will win me the game if I've built my deck around it. This doesn't. This feels like it's, okay, you're doing nothing here, and now your other cards that don't affect the board, they do more, but not in terms of affecting the board. So this card scares me a lot. But
and you think that it's like markedly worse than double vision because it doesn't work with removal spells.
Correct. Correct. Like double vision being able to like double shocks and scorching dragonfires is way better than this doubling opts.
So I agree, and I don't think it's in the same tier. I just don't think it's in this. Like, I would put it in like that Idle of Endurance Ghostly Pilferer tier. I think that I've seen this card. I haven't played with this card, but I've seen this card multiple times, and I've seen deck lists that it's been very good in. And I've seen it on the battlefield in play, and it's a scary card when you have a deck for it.
Outside of in conjunction with tutelage?
Yeah, like, I mean, with tutelage, it's great too, but even in a non-tutelage deck, yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I will.
You can move it. You can even move it up one tier. I would feel. I'd feel. I'd feel okay with that. But
yeah, this is just a card that has like, it is a 3-mana 2/3. There are some cats. You get some Pride Malkins or whatever. Like, but this is
Bastard Acolytes.
This is not
sure.
good.
Yeah, you'll know when you want it.
And then I think the rest of these are bad. They're just bad.
Yeah, I think. Yeah, I mean, there's a whole Peer into the Abyss tutelage combo, but you don't need to go that deep.
No.
Snoop is like a fine 2 in a heavy red deck, especially if you have like an Arsonist, just like you might draw sometimes, but yeah. No, nothing else here. Yeah, these are all basically unplayable.
Yeah, for sure. All right, and as we said, I think like the commons start to exist somewhere in this range. Like probably in this category here. So
yeah, I guess it is worth. So I think what is worth doing is, let's talk about Teferi's tutelage / Seasoned Hallowblade, and Scorching Dragonfire. Like what is the worst rare we're taking over Seasoned Hallowblade or Teferi's tutelage?
I think it's this column.
Right. Do you have a specific breakpoint? Do you think?
No, I think I would take all of these over.
Yeah.
I think I would take all of these. Yeah, I would take all of these over every common and uncommon.
Yeah, that's fair. I agree with that.
And then I think it starts.
I would not.
I think it gets murky here.
I would take Hallowblade over that entire column.
Whoa, really? So you're that high on it? Okay, I mean,
he's taking Hallowblade over Baneslayer Angel. He already said.
Oh, true. Yeah, I forgot about that.
Hallowblade is absurd.
No arguments for me. I'm not going to tell you that.
My gut tells me Ben's right. So.
Well, no, I'm not taking Hallowblade over. I stand with what I initially said, but no arguments for me that Hallowblade is insane.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't take. We were saying commons and uncommons. I still stand by my Scorching Dragonfire over Solemn, but yeah, I mean. It looks absurd to say Seasoned Hallowblade over all these busted cards, but I do agree with with Ben's logic, and like I said, I've seen it in play and it's been busted.
Yeah, for sure.
I would put Hallowblade in the top tier, the far left column.
Yeah.
And then what about Dragonfire? Does anybody feel, or whatever you think your top common is? Where's Is that same tier? Just or do you feel would you take Dragonfire over Salvo or Rada? No, right?
No.
Yeah.
Dragonfire goes for me in the Primal Might area.
Yeah, I think that's about right. Like, I would take Dragonfire over Maze Mine Tome probably. But yeah, they're all very close. It's all it's all in that area.
Pauper format for sure.
Yeah, for sure.
All right, thanks everyone for hanging out and watching. Really, really appreciate it. And we will see you next time for another limited testing meeting.